Hello, Miss Melissa. My name is Blanchard, and my question for you today is, what was the inspiration behind the book Praying for Sheetrock, and did you dream it'll have as much success as it does now? Thank you.
Thanks, Blanchard. Great questions. First, how did I stumble into the world that would become Praying for Sheetrock? I graduated from Oberlin College in 1975 and moved south to Georgia. I'm from Georgia originally. I was born in Macon, but left Macon and moved to Ohio at age 6. But I always loved Georgia, and I felt curious about living in Georgia again. So I moved from Oberlin, Ohio to Savannah, Georgia, the summer of 1975, and pretty soon thereafter, I started hearing McIntosh County stories. They kind of just wafted up the coast. I always wanted to be a writer, but I didn't know how to go about becoming a writer. Before graduating from Oberlin, I applied to 15 or 20 newspapers, hoping to be a newspaper journalist, and they all said no, because I had no experience. But I did get a job with Georgia Legal Services and moved to Savannah to become a paralegal. The Savannah office of Georgia Legal Services was representing at that time the African American leaders of McIntosh County in their lawsuit against the school board at that time. So as a paralegal, I felt curious about this, and I was invited to ride along. My first visit to McIntosh County, I still remember a hot summer evening. It couldn't have been before car air conditioning. I think the lawyer I rode down with did not have air conditioning in his cars. I just remember just the windows down and just sweating and driving south from Savannah. In those years, as you crossed the McIntosh County line, it cooled off because you were driving suddenly into a pine forest. And I remember being very struck by the dark green beauty of the place. It was like almost driving into a tunnel into woods. So we walked into a packed house, hot little whitewashed wooden church, packed to the rafters, and it was a religious service, a church service was going on. Church choirs from all over the county had gathered, and they were wearing the most gorgeous colors of satin robes and taking turns going up just to sing this beautiful music. Everyone was getting fired up. So that first night, sitting through beautiful hymns, beautiful service, we're kind of surreptitiously looking at our watches, and it's 10 o'clock at night, and it's 11 o'clock at night, and at some point, the lawyer just kind of slid his briefcase to the floor. It seemed like this wasn't a political meeting, but it was absolutely a political meeting, and it was our first experience of the fact of how closely interwoven religion and politics was in the mid-1970s in Georgia. The people did want to proceed with these very political acts, a real freedom struggle, but these were very religious people, and they did not want to go forward without the church, without the ministers, without God on their side. And what was happening that night is people were praying for the courage to continue. And that's what we saw that night. And kind of at the climax of the services, suddenly it was the turn of the kind of shy, white, bearded, sort of semi-hippie lawyer to get up front, and everything kind of got quieter, and everyone watched, and he opened up his briefcase, and here was the paperwork to sign. And by then people had gained the courage to put their names on a piece of paper that was going to confront the white power structure of McIntosh County, and it was a very brave act.